They say the devil was the first to fall. But what they don't tell you is, he wasn't alone. I never should have taken that job. But money makes fools of all of us. I was part of a research expedition in northern Italy, hired to document the ruins of a forgotten monastery nestled in the Dolomites. A 12th century abbey called Abbazia dei Silenti, the Abbey of the Silent. It had burned centuries ago, and no one had lived there since, or so we thought. I was just supposed to photograph frescoes and catalog relics. I wasn't supposed to find anything, much less them. We were 5 in total: Dr. Ellen Hartley, our lead archaeologist, Victor, a translator from Milan, 2 grad students who barely slept, and me, just a photographer. But I was the one who found the door. It was hidden behind the altar, sealed in black wax and covered in carvings that looked almost scriptural. But not Latin, something older, more fluid. The symbols shimmered when the light hit them right, like oil on water. Victor insisted they were a form of pre-Enochian glyphs, some kind of celestial dialect. I didn't understand most of what he said, but I remember this clearly. These markings aren't meant to be read, he said. They're meant to contain something. We joked about cursed tombs and demonic relics, just nervous laughter in a cold place. But deep down, we all felt it. This was not some chapel basement. It was a vault, and someone had gone to great lengths to make sure it stayed sealed. The next morning, the wax was broken. No one admitted to touching it. But the door hung slightly ajar, and a bitter cold poured out from the crack, colder than the mountain air. We descended with lanterns. The air grew heavy. The stairs felt wrong, too steep, too narrow. The angles didn't make sense. At the bottom was a massive stone chamber, round, perfectly symmetrical. The walls were covered in murals, thousands of winged figures falling from a burning sky, not graceful like angels, twisted, screaming, on fire, their wings torn by invisible forces. At the center of the room was a pit, circular, lined with runes. No ladder, no ropes, just darkness, a bottomless throat in the earth. Victor began mumbling. I thought he was translating, but no one else could understand him. His words slurred like he was choking on them. Ellen tried to pull him back, but he shrugged her off and stepped closer to the pit. He stood there, listening. Then he jumped. No scream, just silence. The rope around his waist went taut, then slack. Gone. Panic set in. The grad students fled. Ellen tried to call for help, but her phone screen was just static, white and pulsing. And then we heard it. A song. Low, droning, impossible to locate, like it was coming from inside the stone itself. 7 notes. Repeating. We sealed the door. We told the university that Victor had fallen into a sinkhole. They sent recovery teams. None came back. They called off the dig. But it didn't end there. That night, I had the dream for the first time. I stood on a vast black plain, under a bleeding sky. The stars were gone. In their place, holes, black and endless, and above me hovered 7 winged figures, suspended in freefall, like marionettes with their strings cut. Their faces were masks, cracked and burning. Their eyes wept light. They chanted in voices that scraped against the edges of thought. The sound made my teeth ache. I woke up screaming. The next day, I found a feather on my pillow, black, brittle, smoldering at the edges. Ellen went missing the following week. Her apartment was empty. Her notes were gone. Her computer had been wiped. But carved into the wall above her bed were the same 7 symbols from the chamber. One of the grad students hanged himself in a church stairwell. The other was found miles away, naked in a forest, carving spirals into his chest with a piece of glass, mumbling something about ascending through the fall. And me, I started seeing them. At first, just in dreams, then in mirrors, then in shadows where no shadow should be. Tall, winged silhouettes, watching, waiting, humming that cursed hymn. I moved cities, burned all my photos from the dig, threw out the feather. It came back. I tried medication. I tried therapy, but nothing helped, because this wasn't psychosis. This wasn't grief. This was invitation. You see, these beings, these fallen, they're not demons. They're not angels. They're something older. Before God gave light form, before he named the stars, there was the choir. They didn't fall because of pride. They fell because they knew. They saw something we weren't meant to see. And for that, they were cast down, not into hell, but into the space between things. They fall still, endlessly. And when we dream of them, it's because they're close, not in space, but in resonance. Our minds, our fears, our songs, they open doors, doors we don't remember building. And when enough of us hum their melody, when enough of us carry their marks, they will rise. They don't need an army, they need a vessel. That's what the chamber was, not a prison, a cradle. We weren't there to contain them, we were there to awaken them. And now they sing through us. I can feel them when I close my eyes. My blood vibrates with their rhythm. My bones ache with their hymn. Sometimes I see Victor in my dreams. He doesn't speak anymore. He just stares, smiling, his eyes glowing like twin suns. And the pit, it's never gone. Wherever I go, I feel it beneath my feet. Like the ground itself is hollow, like something ancient is waiting. And tonight I heard a knock at my door, 7 times. I didn't open it, but I know what's on the other side. A wing, a flame, a face that isn't a face, and a voice that says, "Fall with us."
Subscribe to Horror Story